So with me today is Sally Page. Master your inner game, master your life is the topic title. Your inner world shapes your life experiences, your relationships, who you are and how you live your life. Your mindset can empower your highest potential or keep you stuck in fear, limitation, and shutdown. Breaking through your limiting beliefs creates freedom, joy, and fulfillment. And when you learn to shift your thoughts and your words to build a positive mindset, you have the ability to change your life for the better. Experience a simple and effective practice that supercharges your mindset with positivity and that creates opportunity. And with me today is Sally Page. The topic again, master your inner game, master your life.
Yay, thank you so much, Bettina. I'm very excited to be here today. I'm always honored to be on the We Empower You Global Virtual Summit. And I have to say before I start, happy birthday. The world needs special women like you who can be powerful, be graceful and loving, and lead others. It's something that we have lacked for years, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this community, in large part because of the energy that you bring to it and the leadership that you give to us. So thank you. So I'm going to jump right in here. This may sound like it's just about mindset, but it's really about so much more. I heard a story about someone who was planning out their entire life, and they had their college planned, they had their career planned, the person they wanted to marry, and the way, where they would live and how they would choose the extra things in life, like vacations and what they would do in the community. And this person went through school and he got into his first job. And for a while, he loved it. For the first year, it was challenging and fun. And he grew as he came into this position. But as the second year came around, he started to realize that it wasn't really fulfilling for him. It wasn't really challenging the way he wanted it to be. It wasn't meaningful. It was just repeat, the same old stuff. He wasn't making a difference in anyone's life. He was serving a money machine. So I had a discussion with him. And what he said is, have you ever worked very hard for a goal, only to realize that when you got there, it wasn't what inspired you most? And the truth is, yes, I have. Because I have a degree in engineering and physics. I worked really, really hard to do it. I worked 3 jobs while I went to college, and my father was dying at the same time. But life had a different idea for me. I always wanted to go to work at NASA. And when I got there, after 3 years at NASA, I went through a big health shift. And that's what took me into this world of medical intuitive work. After 2 near-death experiences, I realized that the need to solve problems that I developed in engineering, just like my friend, was an important skill. And like him, he took the skills he had for his job and he went out and found a job that was very different, where he was contributing to help people who were in disaster situations find supplies, find new homes. And he totally turned around his skills to serve people. And in a way, I did that in a slightly different way to really help people heal, but not just the physical body, the mental, emotional body, the physical body, the energy body, and the heart and soul. Because we're all of these aspects, and each piece is so important. Each piece contributes to the mindset that we hold, and that shapes our world. It is truly our inner life that shapes our world. If we are not emotionally balanced, which Joy gave such a beautiful talk about, it's so important to listen to our emotions and to pay attention to the messages they give us, but to also heal them and clear the ones that keep us stuck. Our thought patterns, we develop our thought patterns when we're children up to the age of 7. Thoughts, patterns of behavior, patterns of emotional response go into our subconscious mind and drive us, and we don't even know why they're there sometimes, or that they are there. So these are big factors. There's also the traumas and the wounding that we've been through. When you have trauma and wounding, it does a lot of things energetically that you may not be aware of. You can actually sense traumas in people's brains. The amygdala is the fight or flight center. And if it's a big trauma, there's certainly connections there. But it creates energy connections and energy imprints that also control your inner world. So this is part of your inner game. And then there's your soul connection. If you're not listening to your heart and soul, if you're not really allowing it to drive your life and to help you do what's most important to you, because really, you need to know what matters most to you. And that's where people that plan things out and then they find it's an empty shell of what they wanted, it's because they didn't listen to that heart and soul, that inner message that's telling you, turn a little bit different direction, try this. And it's truly what feels good to you. And you feel it in your body. Like if your heart is giving you a message, it feels, if it's a yes message, like this is good for you, your heart feels lighter, more expansive, comfortable. If your heart is saying, no, this is not good for you, it will be heavy, feel contracted. And if you can't tell just by feeling your heart, try breathing into your heart. If you breathe into your heart and it's like there's some restriction or some bracing, or you can't fully breathe into your heart, that is a clue that you're in a no space. It's not good for you. If you feel like you have a really big full breath, that's your heart saying, yes, this is good for you. Well, sometimes our emotions can get really stuck in our breathing system, in our heart. And I'm giving away a free tap out that will help you balance your lungs, your heart, and your brain. It's free for everybody. It's really powerful. It shifts a lot of things. And then there's just the way your brain works. So when you go into trauma, what do you do? If something's like shocking, you're like, oh, that's a shock. And there's emotions that do that. There's situations that do that. There's relationships that do that. These imprint you and your body feels that shock. But how do you respond to that? With your breath, with your heart. Your heart always feels it because it's the balancer of your entire body and emotion system and your soul system. But also your brain takes it in and tries to process it. If you've had a lot of wounding, you can process from your woundedness. If you've had a lot of fear, you may be going into your fear patterns if something happens. So that's where the healing and the clearing is so important, to create a mindset that allows you to be really successful, to live the life that you want to live with meaning, with passion and purpose. So this is what I deal with when I work with people. And I have to say, it's really important to go into what you cannot see. You can feel so much, but you can't feel everything unless, I'm sure the more you're tuned into the energy, the more you feel. But different people have different perceptions of what they feel inside and what they feel in the outer world. Your life experience shapes how you process your inner world feelings, your inner world experience. For example, someone who's always been happy, supported, they grew up in a loving family, emotions were safe to express, given someone who grew up with abuse, who had to hide to feel safe, who was not allowed to express feelings, they're not going to have the same response to a difficult situation. They're just not, because they come to it with a different experience, different perspective. So shaping our inner world, how do we do it in a way that really allows us to live the life of meaning, of purpose, to be free from the old muck and junk in our life? And I've worked with literally thousands of people and tens of thousands of people. And what I have come to know is there's no one that doesn't have the muck and the wounding and the stuff that they need to address. There's no one. But when the people who have courage to heal and address that inner wounding really pay attention to what's going on in their life and get support from anyone that you're called to get help from, that makes such a difference. It changes your inner game. So I'm inviting you to change your inner game, because when you change your inner game, you see the world differently. When, like, I can say, just with the growth I've gone through doing this work for years, I see things so differently than I did 20 or 30 years ago. What would have put me in fear then is like, okay, that's just something to deal with. It's not stopping, it's not limiting, it's not even slowing things down. It's just, okay, there's something to address. Fear most of the time lies to you. It tells you that you're small and not powerful and not an infinite capable soul. And everyone is that. Everyone who lives and breathes has so much potential and capability that we're not accessing. So how do we access that? That is the key. We become consciously aware of what's going on with us, where we're stuck, and where we go into negative thinking. There's processes where I have clients who are stuck in a thinking pattern that doesn't serve them, set a little alarm or little messages to go off on their phone. So certain times during the day, it asks them to check in. Is your emotion negative or positive? Because if you can just recognize your patterns and keep score, so at the end of the day, if you've had 10 negative experiences and 4 positive ones, you know you're kind of hanging out in the negative realm. But when it starts to shift, you know you're beginning to make meaningful change with your inner game. So we have to measure. I guess that's the engineer science person in me. When you measure what's going on with you, you can keep track and actually chart the change that's going on in you, so that you can see that your experience is changing. What you allow to hang out in your thoughts and your focus is changing. What you allow to hang out in your emotional field is changing. What you will allow yourself to be consciously aware of is changing. Because someone who's really stuck in fear, if some bully comes into the office, they're like, whoo, there goes their focus. If someone's past the fear, they see, oh, that bully's got some issues. How can I deal with them in a way that's more positive? And there's a different approach, a different response, a different perspective, and a different inner feeling. That affects how you meet your relationships. It affects how you function in your career and your business, and it changes your world. The more you heal and clear, the more of life you master. The more you become aware of what's going on inside of you, the more your outer world changes and you become a force of meaning. What is it that you want to bring to the world? Do you want to bring love and joy to the world? Do you want to bring meaningful change to the world? You need to be aware of what's going on inside of you to do that. Do you want to make your business a heart-centered business that serves others? That needs to be in your conscious awareness. And if you can see your thoughts start to shift during the day, you will know that's happening. So I've been asking my guidance, what is the best thing I can do when I have this moment with these beautiful beings on the summit? And what I'm going to do is a light language activation. Light language sounds like weird sounds or weird songs, but it carries frequencies of light that actually activates your DNA to open to higher fields of consciousness, higher, more expansive fields of light. It can shift not only your DNA, but these inner patterns that are stuck, and it will activate your soul purpose codes. So it's very powerful and it's very easy because you've had so much to listen to. This is where you get to relax and just feel how your body responds to the sounds. So I'm just going to drop into the space. This is light and the sounds may be weird. Don't try to understand them. Just feel them. They will land in your body. They will shift your energy. And if you have questions at the end, I will give you a chance to maybe answer a few things. So if you would like to go off screen, lay down, relax, I'm inviting you to do that. Just be comfortable and enjoy the sounds. So here we go. And this is opening up your vertical energy flow to connect you with source above and earth below. It takes us out of the codependent connections that come out sideways, and it brings our power back inside of us. And as you feel this, breathe into your body and allow the energy to penetrate into your body. All right, so there we go. So this is a way to reset energies, and it's a very powerful way of actually resetting energies, but it's very different. People aren't used to it, but it's quite powerful if you allow it to be felt in the body. So I just wanted to offer that to give people an activation through frequencies. Frequencies can go in to patterns that are negative patterns of energy, and they can literally break up the pattern, shift the pattern, and change it. It's a science called Cymatics, and Cymatics works with sound and frequencies to do all sorts of healing and curing. And there are beautiful videos that you can watch if you look up Cymatics on YouTube. And it's a very interesting science. But there's also so much that you can do with tapping. There's so much that you can do with your breath. And I want to give everybody my free activation today, the free tap out. It's an energy reset tap out. So when you tap through your lungs, it helps open up your breath so you can breathe. This is an excellent thing to do to prepare for meditation, prayer, inner work, where you're really listening to your inner guidance. Tapping will open up that breath. Breath is a big part of your connection with spirit, source, and soul. The heart tapping, and this is to tap out the heart meridian. Your emotions are so connected with your heart, but so is that soul connection, that inner sense of your purpose, your passion, your inspiration, your God connection comes from source. If you're not a God person, it could be your universal connection, but it's a higher vibration of love that you're connecting with. So when you tap out your heart, emotions can come up and release. It's quite powerful. And then when you tap out your brain, it helps both hemispheres of the brain communicate better. It brings into balance all the circuits and electromagnetic communication going on in your brain. And it's very powerful because we're around so much EMF with all the phones and the electronics in this modern world. Our brains need to reset and balance. Just like sometimes you need to reboot your phone or your computer, sometimes you need a reset for your brain. So I have a cortices tap out that's from Body Talk. It's super powerful. It will rebalance your brain. It will help you focus better. And after the end of this, you will feel an ease of breathing. You will feel more heart-centered and heart-present. You will also feel more calm and balanced in your focus. The more you tap out your head, the cortices tap out. Every day it teaches your brain to balance. Every day it helps you have clearer focus. And if you're really preparing where you want to focus clearly, tap your cortices out. It's really cool. So the more you do this, the more you're teaching your body, mind, energy systems to come into balance. And the easier it is for your body, mind, energy to balance when you practice it on a regular basis. So that's what I would like to leave you with. I offer a mastery program for those people who want to really explore inner mastery. It goes deep, it touches all parts of your being, and it brings deep and phenomenal change. When you clear things that are unseen, as well as become very conscious of where your inner thoughts, your feelings, your focus is going, you start to change your inner game. And when you do that, you change your world. And I'm here to support those who are ready for that change. And I am so grateful to be a part of this amazing community. And I just want to say thank you to Bettina and the entire community of We Empower You for having me on. And I'm delighted to share this with you. So if you will check the chat in a moment, I will just drop my links in the chat. And you are welcome to connect with me. I'm very happy to connect with anyone who'd like to set up a conversation with me, and we can talk about what it would be like to go deep into this experience of inner mastery. So here are my links. And the tapping reset is a free gift available to anyone. It's safe to use. You can't mess it up. You can't do it wrong. You can't hurt anyone with it. So give it a try. It's fun. And if you have any input or feedback or questions, get a hold of me. I'd love to talk to you. Thank you.